Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another edition of Travel with Churchman. Thank you for always coming back to watch more of my video. If you are new around here, please consider to subscribe to the channel so that you get notification each time I post new video. So today, I'm going to be sharing my experience in Slovakia's capital called Bratislava. A lot of people don't know about this city or even the country. A lot don't know about it. You know, that is all what I do. I go to new places that you don't know nothing about, and then discover new things about them and share with you guys. So this is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be sharing a lot of history about this country. Without wasting much of your time, let's get to it. Guys, I'm in Bratislava. So guys, I'm in Bratislava, and going on a city tour today. We're exploring the castles in Bratislava. Currently at the city center, very close to their old town. And now I'm locating a tour guide right now.
Now I would like to give you a little bit intro, so you navigate where you are. So I hope, and I'm sure all of you know that this is Slovakia and not Slovenia. It's not a joke, but also not the joke because these countries, I mean, we and Slovenia, we have to exchange post and mail, every month. That's a real story. But, okay, Slovakia, we have about 5.5 million people in our country. Here in our city, we are in the very southwest. We are close to Austria, you notice that. From here, it's about less than 10 minutes to drive to the border. And the direction south, across the river, 20 minutes, you go to Hungary. So it's like at a rock's throw, very close. And we share with Hungary the longest border. It's 400 miles or 650 kilometers. So we had, by the way, from Hungarians, a huge influence. That's how it started. Most of you told me you came to Vienna. So we were here also, Austria-Hungary. So also the architecture is similar to Vienna or Budapest and Prague as well. And we share history with all of these capitals. But we had 900 years of this significant Austro-Hungarian times, meaning also these nice buildings, as I'm saying. I will of course explain to you what is here, where we are. But also have to mention that, okay, it started with the year 1000 when Hungarians took us. And by us, I mean we and Czechs. We have Czechoslovakia, I will come to that. But we and Czechs in the beginning, in the past, we were a Slavic kingdom here. Are you familiar with the name Slavic? Probably, okay, so Poland, super. So we are Slavs by origin. So we here with Czech in the north, because we are northern Slavs, right? There are also the former Yugoslavia, the southern ones, so a little bit away. Below Austria and Hungary, Slovenia. So they were Yugoslavia, right? But here we had with Czechs the so-called Grand Moravia, the big Moravia, another way of saying it. And so we had same kings, we were one nation, we had our old language. So one people. That's why we are so similar. But then in the year 1000, Hungarians took us. There were fights about this area and they wanted to be somehow bigger. And so they conquered us, the Slovak area, right? So we started to have their influence, meaning in our city, where you are, plus all across our country back then, we started to have the Slavic people plus Hungarians. I will start to use them or call them Slovaks, right? But of course this term had been developing over the times, also with the language. We had our grammarians and so on. So you see, that was like the first changes. The Czechs, actually, they continued to have they would gradually call it the Bohemian Kingdom, Czech Kingdom, And so we became Hungarian Kingdom. Then later on in 16th century, crucial thing, in the south, the Ottomans were coming towards here, and they also wanted to conquer places. They did so in Budapest. They conquered Budapest. It was super dangerous, so they had to fight back. And they also had to move the capital from Budapest to a safer city with coronations. I'm going to take you passing by to the castle. We will pass by Coronation Church, the big one, maybe you noticed. And so they moved coronations here, capital in our city, and also parliament. So we became the strategic place. Plus, the 16th century, the Hungarian kingdom started to collaborate with Austrian kingdom. And still, all of these, this was under the Holy Roman Empire. It was the big empire that we were part of, but I will use it, I will tell you locally how it was with these two kingdoms together. It was also crucial because from the 16th century, so we had coronations here, plus we started to have here Germans as well. So the city in Bratislava became trilingual. You walked here till 1918, because it was end all of this, I'll come to that. So you heard German, Hungarian, and Slovak on daily basis. there were many translations. But for example, the business, imagine business names, one would have a German name, next door Hungarian, next door Slovak, it's changing like this. But when there was something for everybody, like pharmacy, we are going to pass by one important building, there will be translation on it, right? So I'll show you. We still have, by the way, quite some translations for mountains, cities, but we don't use them, except in the south, the southern border with Hungary. When you enter the city, there is a Slovak name and a Hungarian name translated. And those people in the south, they are bilingual because of this, right? The changes of territories and so on. So this was the Austro-Hungarian times. We had also empire. We had also Maria Theresa, right, the famous queen I will mention. She was actually crowned in our city. So we speak about this. And now in the 1918, there was a big change, end of World War I. Right, and re-established Czechoslovakia, right, on the basis of this old kingdom, you remember, not just out of blue, but we knew about each other. But over the course of the centuries, we made a Slovak language, like I was telling you, and the Czech. So in the 1918, we had two languages, Slovak and Czech. So they are very close, very similar, but yet different. I'm going to make a step about Czechoslovakia, so I'll show you more, yeah, and some tongue twisters as well. So we had Czechoslovak times, but of course I have to mention that early decades. It was not like a rapid switch, because imagine we didn't have any system, right? After 900 years, no books, no education, in our ways, in the system. So it was gradually developed. Now during World War II, it didn't help us that much because Nazis approached here, the other side of the river. We are going to see that from the castle, and also the Sudeten lands in Czech. So, and they forcefully, secretly split Czechoslovakia. It was Hitler's idea, with agreement with France and Great Britain, for example, these two countries especially. And they split forcefully Czechoslovakia without anybody being invited. So we became the Nazi satellite, right? So we were called Slovak state. We had Nazism. At the end of the World War II, people were having uprisings, liberating from Nazism all across our towns in the country. Guerrilla fighters, and we also got the help from Soviets. That's a typical Eastern European history that happened. So Soviets, we had Bulgarian soldiers here, Ukrainian, Russian, they helped us to fight against the Nazis. So basically we were considered as liberators, but somehow, after the World War II, our liberators forgot to leave, as I say, and after the World War II, we became communist Czechoslovakia. And so after Nazism, there was a change of communism. So we had Czechoslovakia communist from 1948 till 89, 4 decades. During these times, the only extra language except for Czech and Slovak was Russian. So my parents had that, not me. I was born right after communism ended. Smart kid, I sometimes say. So in 1989, we had the Velvet Revolution, one of the big squares where it happened. It's around the corner, very close from here. And so it was successful, end of communism. Until after 89, we were democratic Czechoslovakia, till 1993. But in 1993, there was a final decision of splitting Czechoslovakia. Our decision, our prime minister decided. No referendum, we were very friendly, didn't have any problems. But there was this little, discussions after 89, like how equal we are, You're hearing that we always had someone's influence over us, so probably also Slovaks wanted to have split, and actually there are some rumors that if there was a referendum on this, Slovaks might vote for the split actually more. But this is very like rumors, what I'm hearing, what we know. But yeah, so after 93, we are two countries. Of course, we are very friendly. We have many collaborations, I will tell you. And one last thing I want to recap also, after 1918, we have many Czechoslovak families, my case too. So my grandfather was Czech, for example, so I have a Czech side of the family. And before 1918, we had in the past many German, Slovak, Hungarian family combinations. My case, for example, I have some distant Hungarians in the family, as far as I know, but I don't speak the language. Yeah, I know maximum 10 words, hopefully still. But we have some people, as you were hearing, that they know Hungarian, even in the city. If it's like a little bit, like a kitchen Hungarian, that they can know a bit, right? Not that everybody, depends. And also many of us, if you imagine, we have mixes of surnames. I have a German surname with Ova at the end, Schönhauser-Ova. Right, I'm Bianca, Schönhauser-Ova. So Ova is for female. We add this they do it in Russia, in Czechoslovakia, we do this, right? So you see, we are such a mix, but of course, Slovak, so many Slovaks, they can have a very similar background as me. right? So also in architecture, of course, now I will start with the historical zone, which is mostly, as I'm saying, from Austro-Hungarian times. You know, there were many collaborations, you know, architects from Vienna coming here or from Italy, so it was one empire, so similarities. But we also have daily, if you want, or some of you are staying, we have 20th century tour from 2:30 from the same place, and they take you towards the outside area of the city. Stories are especially with Hungarians, like it was not super friendly in these terms. So also our ancestors, if they wanted to have some rights in the past, they had to speak Hungarian language actually, right? So, but of course it was very friendly among the people, very peaceful city and so on, and that the country, I mean, back then with the empires, right? So the point is, when they opened the building, like it was actually like looking like as a theater, they had German place and Hungarian place only. And then in 1920, this institution became Czechoslovak, and of course now from 1993 we are the bosses, so Slovakia. So it was like the transition. Plus, here I'd like to also show you something else. When you look at that area we came from, you see of course McDonald's. Okay, so not by recommendation, but in the past, this area here in the south, we used to have here city walls. As I was mentioning, that area we come from was fortified. So we still have nowadays 10% from the city walls at the Cathedral. So we are going there, I'll show you. But here it was a southern area, double wall, medieval walls from 14th century till 18th century. And left from McDonald's, there used to be a southern city wall called Fisherman's Gate. There are lots of names, fishermen, also in Budapest they have one bastion, right? So, but this area here looked differently. It was like a deeper underground level, not like this, it would be lower. So it was like about 5 meters below, around 17 feet below your feet. So this was regulated, made higher. Plus, during these medieval times, till 18th century, Danube River is over there now, also regulated from 20th century especially. But during these times, the river was going to be later. Right, so wherever you travel, especially in Czech and Slovakia and some other Slavic countries, and you see written with our language, when you see the letter C, we pronounce it as C, right? So that's Ignaz. And this gentleman, you know, he didn't have a lot of money. He was like more, but he always had a black suit on, and he was like walking here in our streets and greeting everybody. He had flowers for ladies randomly also. So he was such a gentleman, and he had 4 jobs to clean the streets and so on, you know, so he was very helpful and very like a polite gentleman. So, and imagine that he was born in the 19th century, he lived through Czechoslovakia, the First Republic, then World War II, so the Nazi regime, and then in communism he died. So I sometimes say that he would tell us lots of stories, I guess, about these times, regimes. So yeah, if you want to take a photograph with this lovely Ignatius, he also comes, when you Google Bratislava, you're going to see that he comes with the nickname Schöne Nazi, which translates, Schöne is a German word, which means nice or polite. The warning sign is real because we get cars, you know, that they can come with permissions, so sometimes there were accidents, so it's a real protection for both, especially the cars. So if you want to tap for luck, feel free. We call him in Slovak Chumil in our language, which means watcher.
See hiking to the castle, guys. See hike, man. I miss hiking. So we're hiking up there to the castle, guys. Stay back. Here we are. Here's the castle, guys. Wondering how the inside will look like. Hike time, guys. We're hiking right now up to the castle, guys. Pure hike, guys. Like I told you yesterday, I'll be exploring some of the castles there. So you have to hike up to oversee the city. That's exactly what we're doing right now. We're hiking to access the castle. Stay back, guys. See the view from here.
It was the times of Maria Theresa.
So we're up, guys. We're up, and this is the view, guys. So this is the parliament, guys. Yeah, parliament.
Social democrats now, so in Europe, like to be more rigid. But this is the time of 9th century Byzantine Empire, which was mainly the Greek area, Greece, plus Turkish side in the west, especially.
You know, if you prepare to travel forever.
So from the 9th to 12th century, this was the years that this was only a religious center up on the hill, and they realized then that it's not a good idea to have it like in the churches. So it was almost like, imagine Bratislava back in those days, it was almost like two religions tolerating each other, one next to another. By the way, the city of Bratislava was really very interesting, if you're noticing. Trilingual, Jewish people, interesting cuisine, food were mixed, you know, it's really...
It's really a historical tour. A lot of things happened between Czech and now Slovakia. There used to be one country before they separated, but separated without no referendum, peacefully. Till now, they are still friendly, they're still brothers. So the tour guide is explaining to us how close they are up to now. Sometimes they use even same language. So it's really very nice to hear about all those historical moments about the country. I'm still wondering why there are not too many tourists here. A lot of history are here, but I'm not seeing many tourists here in this city. Transportation, food, and everything is affordable here. Why are tourists not many like we have in Vienna? That's my question. I don't know why. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy today's video. We have come to the end of today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please consider to subscribe in case you have not done so that you get some notification each time I post new videos. I love you guys. Stay blessed.